Hello, this is Gary Marr from Glendale Community College. Now, at Glendale Community College and also the Maricopa County Community College system, we use Canvas as our LMS, or our learning management system. Canvas has been at GCC now for several years, and it's been very successful. I think both teachers and students like it. So what I've done is try to make extensive use of it in my traditional, online, and hybrid classes. What I've done here is I've tried in this one presentation kind of make a one-size-fits-all presentation that lets you know what you can expect to find in my Canvas templates and also some of my expectations for class. There are two main branches of this presentation. One of them is regarding my traditional classes, and one is regarding online. If you happen to be a hybrid student, you're probably a lot closer to traditional than you are online. So let me continue here. I'm going to talk about traditional classes first. Many of you may have taken a traditional class and typically haven't done anything with Canvas except maybe looked at a grade book. Well, we do a little bit more in my traditional classes. Since we're technology students of technology will be using technology both academically and also professionally. I try to include as much technology in the instruction as I can. So for your classes, your traditional classes, you will have inside Canvas, inside both the syllabus and also inside the calendar, a class schedule. And in there you'll have assignments, quizzes, tests, along with their due dates. This should show up in the Canvas calendar and help you from a planning standpoint. I typically also put in these classes examples. Now, many times the example files will also be on the local server, the S drive, but also I'll put them in Canvas so you can easily access them from home. These might be code examples, they might be PowerPoint presentations, they might be an ebook, etc. In the top of the syllabus, and as many places as I can make available, I typically put contact information. If you're a traditional student, I put my office there, so if you want to stop my office hours, you can. Typically they're between 10 and 11, but they do vary, so I would suggest you check my faculty page, which is linked to a Google Calendar, and make sure that I'm going to be there if you're coming at a time outside that 10 to 11 time frame. If you're an online student, kind of all the same things apply, except that the main delivery of your course will be done via modules. There'll be one module for each week of class, and in there it'll explain to you what the reading assignments are, the traditional assignments, practice work, class work, what discussion questions you have to complete, and anything else that's involved with that week's instruction. Now, in addition, you're going to also probably have discussion questions, which won't be every week, but it'll be spaced periodically through the course. And you'll also have a weekly classroom reflection assignment. I'm going to talk about both of those in the next couple of slides. So if you're a traditional student, you're probably not going to be too interested in this right now, unless you take an online class later on. The online students I have are required once a week to send me what's called a reflection assignment. In this reflection, I just want you to answer a couple simple questions. You'll have an assignment in Canvas. It'll let you type into it, and what you'll type to me in there for me is what you learned this week, what you might be having problems with, what might be confusing still, so I can help clear that up, and also any other questions that might be related to class. Sometimes I've had students ask me a question in Python or in JavaScript. But this isn't really tied directly to what we're covered this week, but it's kind of like that, and they're just kind of curious about it. And if I can answer it, I'll certainly try. This reflection assignment kind of brings me closer to you guys, too. We have asynchronous communication with online instruction. We really don't talk at the same time. We talk, somebody sends me a question, and I get back to them. I try to get back to it on one business day, and sometimes sooner than that. But it's, again, the conversation is somewhat fractured. Not fractured, but fragmented. This helps the situation by at least setting up a dialogue between student and faculty. This typically gives you 5 points a week in your score. It may change. It may differ class by class, but typically you're given points for this because I'm considering this the participation requirement for being in the class. The other assignment that typically shows up in online classes is discussion questions or discussion boards. This is where we build our community. These assignments may be as many as 5, maybe as few as a couple, depending on the number of credit hours and how much there is to discuss. Sometimes technology questions can be difficult to discuss. What I have done for the most part is set it up so that You have to post once before you can reply or repost anybody else's postings or communicate via that. If you post your answer to the discussion question, you get 3 points. If you respond to, if you've got 3 replies to other students in the class, that's 4 points. And the most points you can get is 5, and that's if you make 4 or more replies to other students in the class. Now, the questions here might be some discussion questions might be something like, how do you feel Python is from a security standpoint? Is it a secure language? Is it a language that's easier to break into, easier to cause problems with? And then from that, we'll generate a bunch of conversations, some of which will probably reference material in the book. Sometimes people include links to other sources. These discussion questions typically go about 5 points apiece. And let's see. I love questions. So basically, you can send me a question email. You can come to my office. You can call me on my phone number. You can make an appointment if the times I'm available don't really work with your schedule. This applies to all classes. I try to make myself available as possible. In previous years, I was the department chair, and I didn't have the same schedule as students, but now I'm here teaching classes pretty much from 8 o'clock in the morning until 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And with the exception of Fridays, I'm typically here. So if you want to stop by, talk about something, show me something, ask some advice about a class, please do. I enjoy those questions, those conversations. Thank you very much.